What is up, guys? It's Swammer here, back with some more Ultra League action. Going to be trying out a new team with Gyarados, Alolan Muck, and Ultra Giratina. I'm not sure that this is a terribly well-balanced team. For one thing, Charmers absolutely decimate this team, so not fully happy with it, but I did want to just try Gyarados out because with Dragon Breath, Crunch, and Hydro Pump, it should be able to resist everything that Swampert throws at it, resist everything that Registeel throws at it, and deal super effective damage back to Giratina, and even have a shot against Cresselia with that Crunch, especially if it can get an energy advantage. So figured it was worth giving it a try. So let's go ahead and get into the video. I've seen a lot of people using Gyarados, and so my thought on Gyarados in the Ultra League has always been that it's just a bit too frail, but I figured I should give it a go and see what it's like. So coming up against a Venusaur here, don't really know how this matchup goes. I'm going to go ahead and swap into Giratina after building up some energy, but then they've got a Lapras. So Lapras is another one that beats this entire team, basically. So this isn't great for me. I'm going to be going for these Dragon Claws as quickly as I can get them. Shadow Claw damage and Dragon Claw damage will be adding up. I'm guessing this is going to be Ice Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. And it is Ice Beam, so that's pretty good for me. I might have a chance to win Switch Advantage now. So going for these Dragon Claws as quickly as I can, should be able to get to another one before they get to an Ice Beam. We do, and this is either going to take them out or force them to shield. They do shield, so um, that there, I overtapped. I shouldn't have overtapped, and I shouldn't have also shielded, given that I overtapped. I got a little frustrated, and I'm like, dang it, I overtapped when I shouldn't, so I shielded it to take out the Lapras to win Switch Advantage, but I definitely think I would have been better off to come in and farm down with Gyarados, rather than keep my Giratina in there. However, I am going to be able to get off another Dragon Claw against this Venusaur, so it's not a terrible situation for me. And then they swap into their Swampert, which means that I should be fairly safe to bring in Gyarados. They've still got a shield, so I'm going to build up to the Hydro Pump and then go for a Crunch, hoping to bait them. They go for a Hydro Cannon. We'll definitely be able to survive another one. Going for the Crunch now, hoping to get that shield. We do get the shield. And then another Hydro Cannon coming through, which is going to get us quite low. They're still not going to be able to farm us down, though. And I made a call here that I didn't think I was going to be able to get to the Hydro Pump, so I went for Crunch instead. And then they bring in the Venusaur. Again, I probably shouldn't have swapped out of the Gyarados right away. I think I might have been able to get to a Crunch. But this is okay, because we're going to be able to absorb these Frenzy Plants quite well on the Alolan Muck. And I know that I need to have loaded energy here, so I will go for a little bit of a overfarm, and it doesn't pay off because they got to another Frenzy Plant, which is not good for me. So they're able to take me out. Definitely should have been able to take out that Venusaur and maybe get to a charge move on that Swampert, but I think the Swampert had loaded energy, so I don't think it would have mattered either way. Alright, so here we catch a Registeel on the lead. So Gyarados is going to be resisting everything that Registeel throws at it, both the Flash Cannon and the Focus Blast. But they still do a fair bit of damage because Gyarados is just so squishy. So you can see that still does more than a third of my health. And combined with lock-on damage, I'm not going to be able to survive more than about 2. So go ahead and shield. I'm trying to bait the shield here, which is why I shielded myself there, hoping that they will part with a shield of their own. However, they don't, so I'm going to go ahead and go for another Crunch. Not going to shield this charge move coming through. Another Flash Cannon. I'm going to be able to survive. They're going to have to dump more energy into me to take me out. we're able to get them quite low, and then we might even be able to, yeah, we're going to be able to get to another crunch. I probably could have even Dragon Breathed down, but I'm not super familiar with Gyarados, so I didn't want to risk it. And then it's Swampert coming in. So this isn't great because we're going to come in with Giratina, and with a shield and energy advantage, this match is definitely going to favor Swampert. So I'm going to go ahead and shield, and I successfully shield the Earthquake, which is really big for me. They bring in Cresselia, and we're going to go into Muck, hoping that we can get some foul plays off. They Moonblast us, and we get the debuff. So that's really unfortunate for us. That probably is basically the match, because now we're going to need to get to 3 Dark Pulses against this Cresselia instead of just 2, which is, there's not really any coming back from that. It's a ton of extra energy. We do get a shield here, but not going to make a huge difference. They're going to be able to get to another Moonblast. We're going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse, but they swap out into their Swampert to absorb it, and we are debuffed, so it's not going to deal a ton of damage. Going to go for the Dragon Claw right away. Hopefully we can take them out. We are going to get to another Dragon Claw here. I probably could have farmed down, but I wanted them to make sure they didn't get off another charge move. And now it's Cresselia coming in. This Moonblast is going to hurt quite a lot, hoping, again, that we don't get the debuff, but we do. So that's really unfortunate, because this is going to get the shield, and we probably would have been able to take them out with this Dragon Claw if we hadn't been debuffed. But we're not quite able to. However, they are going to be low enough that one Snarl from Muck coming back in will take them out. So we go for the Snarl, and that does take them out, so we are able to pull that one out. Super close match. Really able to capitalize on winning switch advantage Gyarados against Registeel in the beginning, even though we didn't have the shield advantage. So thought that wasn't going to go great for us, but did manage to turn around. Here we come up against a Giratina, and I really feel like Gyarados should be able to win this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Dragon Claw, and then going to go for the Crunch myself, and this is going to probably be getting a shield from them. And it does, and then we're just not going to be able to get to another Crunch. So I'm not sure exactly how that could go different, but it feels like it should be a much closer matchup than it is, since I'm dealing super effective damage and only taking neutral, but Giratina is just so thick that doesn't really matter. So coming in now with Alolan Muck, gonna farm up some extra energy, going for the Dark Pulse here. This is gonna take out the Giratina. We do take it out, and they come in with Swampert. This is not a good matchup for us. So going to be going for this Dark Pulse. I tried to sneak in one more fast move before swapping out. However, they are able to get off a charge move here, and I grossly miscalculated the energy they had, because I did not think they would have 2 Hydro Cannons. So that shield basically got me nothing. It got me 1 extra Snarl. So that's definitely not good. That's probably going to be game over for me. And if I'd had that shield, I definitely could have had more play here. So I'm able to take out the Swampert, and it's a Cresselia coming back. So you can see that if I had that shield here, I definitely would have been in a much better spot, because with one shield, Cresselia versus Giratina is quite close, and I had a small energy advantage, so I might have been able to turn it around. But then we get the debuff again, so going to be forced to go for the Dragon Claw bait here, and they do go ahead and block it. We're able to get to the Shadow Sneak, but we are debuffed, so there's no way this is going to be enough damage. Yeah, it does not do very much, and they are going to get to another Moonblast. So definitely not the best use of shields by me in that matchup, so my opponent was able to capitalize on that and take me out. So well played by them, but hopefully I can start to clean some of those choices up. This is the sort of thing that happens with new teams is you don't really have the feel of the battle out completely. So here we come up against Heracross in the start. That's quite a good matchup for us. They bring in their uh, Giratina and go for the Dragon Claw. Gonna let it hit me and then swap out into Alolan Muck so that Alolan Muck is going in on fairly even energy. It is a Shadow Claw variant, so we're going to be resisting those fast moves, which is good for us. And going for the Dark Pulses now. And this is going to be dealing super effective damage. Should be able to farm them down. They're getting off a Dragon Claw here, but the Snarl damage will be able to likely take them out. And they're actually able to get off another Dragon Claw. So guys, this is how strong Giratina is. Even Alolan Muck, which is a direct counter, is in the red after switching in after they'd used a charge move. So he's just so thick. So going for a Sludge Wave on this Heracross. They do shield it, so now we're up a shield. We've got two great counters to Heracross in the back, so this is okay for us. Going to be going into Giratina. They bring in Empoleon, and actually I should have stayed in the Giratina versus Empoleon matchup. Definitely more favorable, but this is okay because my opponent actually just decides to surrender. So that is good for us. So far we're 2 of 4, so hopefully we can win one more and get a winning set under our belts. But we'll have to see what we get matched up against. So Gyarados into Granbull. Oh, this is not good. Charmer's absolutely wrecked this team. So gonna go into Muck. It's really my only choice. And then I go for the shield bait here with Dark Pulse. I was certain that they were gonna shield. However, really gutsy call by my opponent. They do not shield. The Sludge Wave would have one-shot them, and they choose not to shield. So really, really gutsy call by my opponent, and that was a critical error on my part not to go for the Sludge Wave there. But able to get the Dark Pulse off on the Swampert. Gonna let the Alolan Muck go down. Gonna come back in with the Gyarados. It's gonna have to eat a Hydrokin, but that should be totally fine. Going now for the Crunch. They are getting off another charge move, which is not great, but going to be able to get to this Crunch, and hope we'll be able to definitely take out the Swampert. Oh no, we actually get a shield, so they come in back in with Granbull. So that's okay. We're going to be able to go for a Shadow Sneak, and we do get to the Shadow Sneak quite quickly to take out their Charmer. However, we took a lot of damage, and they have a Togekiss in the back. So I said at the beginning of this video, this team is quite weak to Charmers, and double Charmers, there's basically no win condition. There's nothing you can do. So they're able to take us out, and that team was definitely one that we were never going to beat with this team comp. So thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely wanted to try out Gyarados, and my thoughts are still just that it's probably a little bit too squishy. I think I'm not utilizing it to its full potential. That's certainly true, but I think it's a little bit too squishy for my liking, and even the things that I feel like it should beat, like Giratina, Registeel, it's not a comfortable matchup. It's a very close win if you are able to win, and in some cases quite bait dependent. So I think that I'm going to steer away from it. It's definitely a viable choice if you like it and want to use it, but I am not going to be using it, I don't think. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.